Welcome to another edition of Beyond the Bench with Judge Ron Arnone. I'm Judge Arnone, and today we have a special presentation of Beyond the Bench. We're recognizing the Citizens of the Year for Bethel Park. And this year we have two recipients, co-recipients of this award, and you'll see shortly who they are, what they've done for our great community. And I'm just so proud. We unfortunately see such sadness in the district court and crime and other things that aren't always pleasant. So today it's so nice to be here and recognize goodness and people that do so much for our community to make it what it is, a great community. So join us as we celebrate our recipients of the Bethel Park Citizen of the Year. Without further ado, then, I'm going to say that Becky, she was born actually in Cape May, New Jersey, and attended West Virginia University.
Go
Mountaineers. An undergrad in English, master's degree in secondary education, higher education leadership in 2008, both graduate students. She was married to her husband Cliff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's an electric and computer engineer. Impressive. So they both moved to Pittsburgh in June of, 09, I guess, into 2010?
2008, right after we got married. We had
Okay.
6 weeks to
Wow.
find an apartment and get moved.
Get settled in.
Mhm.
Incredible. So after moving to Pittsburgh, Becky was hired as the girls' lacrosse coach for Bethel Park, and really set to revamp that program and assisted in all the information for First Youth Girls lacrosse program, which is really something else because lacrosse is such a big sport these days. So you certainly have that feather in your cap as well, and taking on that helm of the girls lacrosse. Also, Becky owns Winner's Edge Lacrosse. It's the region's largest lacrosse program company, and Edge provides learn to play and development playing opportunities to lacrosse families, and that's a great thing as well. And she's assisted in the successful placement of over 100 college-bound female athletes. That's awesome. That really is. You should be so proud of that. Becky also spearheaded the founding of the Western PA Girls Lacrosse Coaches Association, and she's been a big advocate of animal rescue as well, which is near and dear to my heart.
Love the dogs.
Me too. She has been involved in assembling the board of directors for the Black Hawk Relief Foundation, in particular in response to the flooding of this past year. Lacrosse families faced significant emergencies, as did the whole community. And Becky and her group did fundraising. They raised $3,000 initially, and then saw that this wasn't going to be nearly enough, so the fund did exist quietly up until June of 2018, where she mobilized once again, and during the historic flooding, she provided many humanitarian efforts, collected donations to benefit the Bethel Park families. And Becky, along with her core group of volunteers, I'm going to mention in a moment because I know she would want me to, would distribute cleaning supplies and coordinate meals and laundry services, and donations of over $55,000 in addition to distributing to over 130 affected families. Becky, she also met regularly with the Black Hawk Relief Fund and municipal leaders, and it really was a coordinated effort with so many, and it's really incredible. And that's why the recognition is so important, because I know that this is so much about you, but so much about so many, and so many that were affected, and you touched so many lives with the Black Hawk Foundation and the people that you led. So that is certainly appropriate. And addition to coordinating all these feedback and information and distributing, again, over $62,000 of assistance to Bethel Park families and reaching out to support during the holiday season as well, that you were instrumental in helping. And I do want to recognize, obviously, Becky and her being president, but Courtney, who's here today, Courtney Smith, and Sydney Litzenberger, who's the treasurer, and Lynn Sivitz, and Chris Van Tyke, who I'm sure is working right now,
Yeah.
and Eva Parker, who obviously is real involved in the community and a volunteer fire person.
Yeah, she's awesome.
And she really is, and she's people like Eva and so many that do so much in volunteerism for our community. And so with that, it's so important to recognize the goodness in our community and recognize the good people in our community. And I know I join you respectfully in saying that, you know, none of us can do what we do alone. You know, just like with me here, with my staff, and the people around me and the strong people in this community, we're so fortunate that we live in such a great community in Bethel Park. And so I want to first of all give you this medal. This is for Outstanding Citizen of the Year for 2018, and it's inscribed Outstanding Citizen with presenting myself on the back, and I congratulate you for being the Citizen of the Year. Here. Place that on you. And also, in addition, this recognition where Becky has been recognized as the Outstanding Citizen of the Year award, and your dedication to the citizens and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, based on the whole Judges Association across Pennsylvania, we commend you and applaud your efforts.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Congratulations. Also, I do want to take the opportunity to thank the Lallos for contributing to our endeavors here. They have given Becky a certificate for dinner, and you know, they're a good family, they're good partners at Bethel Park, and that's very kind of them to do that. And so, without anything else, the floor is yours to speak as you wish.
All right, well, thank you to Judge Arnone for having me today, and I want to recognize Mr. O'Brien as the other recipient of this award. I certainly wasn't expecting this, but I think that it is nice when there's so much negativity in the world to have the opportunity to celebrate good things that are happening. And although we're up here, there's a lot of people behind us, and I'm so thankful for the people that came today to support me. I want to thank my dad who's here. He taught me to get involved with your community at a very young age, and that's something that's always been valued in our family, and I think that that's a big part of why it's so important to me to give back and to be involved. And Mr. Allen and Mr. Mowry and Andy, they were really part and parcel of why I got involved in this in the first place. They initially reached out to me and started having a lot of conversations with me about how the fund could help, which was something that we were a small organization. We definitely had not taken on any sort of fundraising of that size. I have no background in disaster relief. Thankfully, I do have a background in management. So that was an opportunity for you to use my skills. And in a time that was really dark for a lot of our citizens, we saw so many great people. I think what makes Bethel Park so great really shone in the moment weeks really of adversity at that time. And I've been really fortunate that I've met some really great people. Courtney and Sid are women who I'm so proud to stand with now at this organization, and I get these two angels out of this not so great a time for our community. So I'm really thankful for that, and I also want to thank the Bethel Park Historic Society because they were ground zero for so many of our efforts. And Bill And I met through that, and I feel like we're just like best buddies right from the beginning, which was awesome. So it's just so many wonderful people, and I thank the Almanac for being here. They've been so supportive of getting our information out, as well as Bethel Park TV's really gone above and beyond to make sure that the citizens have access to what we're doing. And we as an organization just want to thank the community, and we really appreciate how supportive everyone is of our efforts. And like you mentioned, our holiday drive is over $11,000 of aid provided now to Bethel Park families. And this is us just being the conduit. Other people need assistance or need support, and private citizens want to help them, but you don't always know how to find the people that you want to support. So we're just a channel that takes that community spirit and channels it into something positive and gives it back to people. And we're not going anywhere, and we hope to continue to be involved at Bethel Park for years to come. So thank you so much.
Awesome, Becky. Thank you. And I'm going to get one with both of you guys, but
Oh, excuse me.
good to see you.
All right, here we go. All right, beautiful. All right, a couple more. All right, thank you.
And Dad, good job. Good job. It takes a good family and father to raise a daughter such as Becky, and you've done good, man.
I can't even say it was work.
That's
that good.
That's outstanding. And so, and Becky said it so eloquently, it really does take a group and people, and we are very lucky and blessed to have many of those people in this room right now. And we're blessed to have such great leadership. And so, thanks. And Harry, you were right. Harry does do a lot of good coverage for our community, and it was nice that you recognized him as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, Harry.
So now we have Thomas.
Yes, Tom.
Tom,
Yes.
of course. And I know you by Tom.
Yes.
Tom, I know firsthand because we've partnered on different things in the community, and he's been there when we needed the Scouts for community endeavors and community service, and we're going to go into much of that right now. But it is really an honor and very cool that you wore your uniform today.
Yes. That's why I'm being honored.
That's right. And part of it, there's other things too, and so I'm gonna get into that here right now. So Tom was born in Cleveland, Ohio. We want to hold that against you.
As soon as I could.
He is a Steeler fan. Thank God. But Tom was adopted.
Yep.
And that's pretty cool. His education, Notre Dame Elementary School.
Yes.
What a neat name for an elementary school, huh? And then the Kennedy Christian High School,
Yes.
and Indiana University of Pennsylvania, little IUP, huh?
Yep. IUP grad.
Tom had a distinguished career at the Bettis Atomic Power Laboratory, where he spent 39 years. That's pretty incredible. He was an accountant from '78 till 2017, just not too long ago,
Yep.
retired. He has his wife, Linda, and his two children, Patrick and Sean. And thank you guys all for being here, and for your father and your husband. He is in his scouting uniform, and so that's so much of what we're going to talk about, and so much of what he's done. Tom, as a youth, joined the Scouts. That's how he first got introduced in the 6th grade, and started his own troop, and stayed involved until 8th grade, right?
Yes.
And then you went to work for your dad in the grocery store?
Yep. 8th
And,
grade, time to come to work.
Absolutely, right?
Yep.
That's a good thing. Those are good experiences and memories, and those memories stayed with him with the scouting, and then his sons came along, Patrick, and he encouraged him to join the Scouts, and and many of his classmates, and took an active role as a parent, as well as mom helping out, and became an adult leader for both your sons.
Yes,
And then when Patrick crossed over into the Boy Scout Troop 4 in '98, took the active role of leading that program as the adult leader of that pack for some time, and accepted in 2004 Scoutmaster position,
yes.
whereby Patrick earned his Eagle rank in 2004 and Sean in 2008. And congratulations for that, to be sure. And Tom's enjoyed this life and this program, guiding young men and developing leaders, skills and good character,
Yeah.
and of course appreciating for God's gift of the great outdoors, as Tom
Yes.
likes to say. And he's continued to be a Scoutmaster since his son completed since their youth. So Tom is still a Scoutmaster. And in fact, Tom has overseen 74 Eagle Scouts.
Wow.
Over this course, and endeavored and worked with all these scouts as a leader, a total of over 14,000 community service hours. 14,000. That's
Eagle
incredible.
projects.
Yes, that's amazing. I'm not even sure I've handed out that much community service over the course of my time here, so God bless, man. That is.
The boys work very hard on those projects to organize them, and a lot of benefit to the community.
That's
Got
amazing.
3 of them here.
Yep.
Parents of 2 others.
Just incredible, and the training, the time that Tom's devoted, and 150 hours of training, and all the programs and the campouts and so many things during the last 10 years. Tom and his son and their troop, that's when they both earned the Eagle and the and both Sean in '08 and Patrick in '04, and just I mean, gosh, what an incredible, how many lives and families that you've touched
Yes.
through your volunteerism and your leadership and your good character
Thank you.
that you passed along not only to your 2 sons and Linda being there all the way with you to see this through, and gosh, I mean, 39 years in a job, that's unheard of today, right?
I'm a dinosaur.
You're not, but we never look at numbers. We look at what people have done in their lives, and numbers don't matter, right, Jack? Tim? So the fact of the matter is, you've done so much for so many, and I'm not even quite sure you know that. And you had so many nominations that we were pretty blown away, to be quite honest, including Father.
Oh, okay.
Father Joe and a number of others. It was, I think, the most we've ever received.
Okay.
So I applaud you for all you've done. I thank you for your leadership and for the many families that you've touched in our community. And at this time, I'd like to award you co-citizen of the year,
Yes.
along with Becky. This medal.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And this certificate on behalf of the Pennsylvania Special Court Judges Association, special recognition of our friend Tom, who has been awarded this Outstanding Citizen of the Year award for all his achievements in helping out the citizens of the Commonwealth, and in particular Bethel Park. We applaud your efforts and congratulate you very much. His certificate for DeLalos, a little commercial for them. We appreciate their contribution to this, and a little Manju Munch, right?
Yes.
So I have to throw my little Italian flair.
Yes.
But without anything else from me to say, I'd like for you to say some words, so
right.
congratulations.
Becky, again, glad to share this award with you. Boy Scouts is a great organization. Andy, you've been quite involved in it over the years. Just had a great time working with the boys, seeing them develop good character, great citizenship. There's been over 200 boys that have come through the troop while I've been there, and it's just been great to work with them and see them grow from coming in the troop, like, what do I do, what do I do, what do I do, to be the leaders. JT here, he went to the Air Force Academy.
Thank you for your service.
Patrick and Sean, my sons, both got their Eagle, have done very well. Linda, thank you for all your support. All three of you, thank you for being there, understanding, and helping me all the time. I really appreciate it because I know it's been a big demand on my time. I think Linda looks forward to the fact that she knows at least one weekend a month I'll be out of the house. But been a lot of others. I've been in charge of coordinating Troop 4. Two of our parents here who have been active in the troop, many parents active in the troop, so it's not just me guiding these boys along the path, but the whole Troop 4 organization, and we've been very successful. And these are our future leaders. The boys have done very well, 74 of them, Eagle projects, affects all aspects of our community. So it's been a pleasure to work with these boys and guide them along. Thank you for recognizing me for
Absolutely.
my efforts over all these years.
My pleasure and honor.
All right. Thank you.
Mayor, Tim?
No, I just want to thank both you for, living here all my life. It's a community I was born and raised in, and I always say the good thing about Bethel Park is people get involved, and the bad thing about Bethel Park is people get involved. But no, I'm very honored with both you being here today, to see what you do with your community, what you do for your community, your family. We're glad to see Dad was able to make it today, and you did good. But no, we really do appreciate everything you've done in the group. Both organizations are a vital part of our community, so thank you.
And I'd like to congratulate both of you also. Becky, who I've got to know over the last 6 months. Tom, I've gotten to know because we're always sending correspondence to Eagle Scouts, whether it be from the municipality or the American Legion. So now I got to put a face to the name anyhow. But again, like what Tim said, it's it's a community effort, and you two do a great job. So thank you and congratulations again.
Thank you, Mayor and Tim. Mr. President, I do want to say that I think at some point we're going to have like I'm going to make some type of a plaque or something, I think, and maybe hang it outside so that, starting with our first members and then moving forward and having, each name put on that plaque to kind of, so that everybody could see, the folks that have been awarded and something that people can appreciate, because community service and so many people in this room know about is so important to the vibrance and the goodness of our community, and you guys have stood that test and made us all so proud.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate it, and God bless. So Tom, I just wanted to briefly interview you. We are doing, this is a part of my show, Beyond the Bench, with Judge Arnone, and EPTV was kind of come here and film this. And so I wanted to just ask you, how does it feel to be the co-recipient of the Citizen of the Year Award?
It is a great honor. I am very proud to receive this award. I've worked a lot with Scouts, and I did not expect it, so very grateful. Thank you, sir.
It's outstanding, and thank you. Thank you for so many things that you do for our community and for young men, and the great character that you instill in so many of these young men, and the great character that you have. And you should be so proud, and your family so proud of all that you've done and accomplished, and just the character and the man that you are is so great. And so just any final thoughts or anything else you'd like to make comment about, maybe the Scouts, or anything else you'd like to say?
The Boy Scouts is one of the premier programs for teaching leadership and great character in our youth. It's been a privilege to be part of that. It's been a privilege with the 200 boys that have gone through Troop 4 out of St. Louis to Marlack. We've been very successful. 74 of our boys have gotten their Eagle, and many hours, almost 15,000 hours of community service has been devoted to those projects that have greatly benefited all of our communities.
That's great, and I think at some further point, I'm gonna possibly have you on my show to do a little more expanded version, and Becky as well, so that we can learn a lot more about you and about the Scouts.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Hi, Becky.
Hi, Judge.
So congratulations again.
Thank you.
And I'm certainly so honored to have both you and Tom to be the co-recipients of the Citizen Award. And we've talked so much about so many people behind the scenes and your leadership. I just would like to ask you how you feel about this award and what it means to you.
I'm certainly honored to receive this recognition. I think that it's really representative of a lot of people who put a lot of time and effort in, and it was a great opportunity for me to reinforce the values that I try to teach my female athletes. I was brought up in a household where civic engagement was encouraged and expected, and if it wasn't for the support of the other members of our fund, my husband, being a coach's spouse, is hard to begin with, and then add on to that the amount of time that went into flood relief, and he was super supportive, and I'm so thankful for that also. And it was just a great chance to get to meet a lot of people in Bethel Park. I've been here for a while, but if your daughter didn't play lacrosse, we may have never crossed paths before. So it was a great chance to meet people, and it really reinforced what I've known for a long time, which is that Bethel Park is such a special community to live in.
That's so eloquent and so nice to say and so true. And my daughter doesn't play lacrosse, but who knows, maybe she might sometime. And I'm proud of so much of, it is so incredible what you've done for so many young women and what Tom has done for so many young men.
Yeah, it is kind of cool
Yeah.
that we
And,
dovetail
it's
so
kind of
well.
Right, it just sort of hit me now to think about that, and I'm so proud of certainly both of you guys. And you know, like I said before, it's girl power, right?
Yeah.
And it's so fantastic what your parents and your father here have done to instill that in you, and that you now are passing that along to so many. And I certainly appreciate that. And I know, by the way, you mentioned your husband, and I do know what that takes, with my wife and with so much that we do, engaging in the community and coaching, as I coached football and baseball for many years. And it takes a lot of time, just like scouting and everything else. But it's good that people like you guys are involved and help out. Any final thoughts you'd like to say related to the foundation, or some plans that you might have in the upcoming year?
So you can find us. We do have a Facebook page, the Blackhawk Family Relief Fund, and you can like our page on Facebook. That's where you'll get all of our updates about what's happening. We're kind of closing down for the year, but one of our big goals for 2019 is something that's really near and dear in my heart, which is to make our rec sports programming accessible to all Bethel Park families. So we will be releasing some information after we get to the new year about how people can sponsor other families and their rec participation, so that the opportunity to have the experience with sports and what that teaches young men and young women isn't anything that anybody in Bethel Park won't be able to access because maybe they're going through some challenges as a family at that time. So that's going to be one of our big campaigns in 2019, and of course a lot more to come. So we appreciate your support, and like our Facebook page if you want to get all the information about what's going on with the Blackhawk Family Relief Fund.
Becky, that's so outstanding, and I love that, because I preach to families and I preach to the people in this community and anyone that will listen about involvement, kids being involved in activities, sports, scouts, whatever it is, because when they're kept busy and they instill discipline, it keeps them on the right track. And that's what's so important, that makes our community so great. So thanks so much for doing that. That's fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.